A very warm welcome to the students of class 7 once again. Today we are here to complete with the concept of transitive and intransitive verbs. So in the previous class we had learnt about what transitive and intransitive verbs are. Today we are going to deal with the third part of these kinds of verbs. Now let us recapitulate a bit regarding this. Now, transitive and intransitive verbs are those verbs which are categorized according to their function in the sentence and what is their relation with the noun. Now, verbs we all know, they indicate some kind of state of being or action, and transitive verbs are the ones in which the action done by the doer always gets transferred to the object. Okay, the action of the subject transfers to that of the object. And intransitive verbs, they are self-sufficient. They don't need any sort of object to complete their meaning. So that is known as intransitive verbs. Now, we also learnt about the different kinds of objects in the previous class. We learnt about the indirect object and the direct object. Alright, so today we are going to deal with verbs of incomplete predication. And let this be there. So I just write it here. Verbs, this is the third kind. This is kind 1, this is kind 2, this is third. Verbs of incomplete predication. Now, what sort of verbs are these? So, you might just be you might just be frightened at the thought of such a long name. Or what does predication mean? Or what does incomplete predication mean if it is taken together? Alright, so I'll make it very simple for you. Now, we identify complete or incomplete predication based on the function of the verb's complement. Alright, now what is a complement? Now, regarding this, we have to understand about one concept, which is complement. Now, what are these complements? Okay, it's not the ones that you give when you appreciate something. Those compliments are different. Alright, this is complement. It means that completes. So a complement is different from that of an object. A complement, which means that completes, is not an object. Alright, not an object. Complements are not objects. An object is acted upon by the verb. Now the object is where the action is being received. The object is acting out because of the verb. And the object is affected by the verb. But complements are different. For example, let me tell you, she gave me a ball. She gave me a ball. A ball over here is the direct object, which is what? She gave me what? A ball. She gave whom? That is your indirect object. So we know this. This has been made clear to us. Then if I say, I kicked the ball. The ball over is the direct object. We don't need any, there is no such indirect object specified. Alright. So here we have the concept of objects clear to us, which is the indirect object, which is the direct object. Okay. But complement is not affected by the verb itself, but helps give or add meaning to it. Now, complement is a group of sentence, a group of words that help to complete the meaning of the verb. They are not things or person. It's not a noun. Doesn't have to be a noun. Alright. It can just state something. Do we understand? I hope we do. What I will again repeat. A complement is not affected by the verb like the object is done. What does a complement do? It simply adds to the meaning. Okay. Adds to the meaning of the verb. Okay. For example, I will say, we colored Okay, this is an example. We colored the fence blue. We could have said we colored the fence. Okay, that is the object over here, the fence. But the fence blue. But blue over here is the complement. Here is the direct object, because this is directly affected by the verb which is colored, and obviously this is the subject. Okay, so subject is we, color is the verb, the fence is directly getting affected, so that's the direct object, and here blue is the complement because you're specifying something else also. We colored the fence. That also could be a sentence. But when you are saying we colored the fence blue, it gives meaning, it adds purpose to the verb. Alright, or it talks more about the verb, it describes. Alright, so here is the catch. Now complements of intransitive verbs tell something vital about the subject, and therefore they are called subjective complements. Now there is something else called subjective complements. Now this is the complement to a transitive verb. Okay, of course colored over is the transitive verb because the action is getting transferred. Okay, what does happen in case of intransitive verbs? For intransitive verbs we use subjective complement. We are not giving objective complements. We are saying something related to the subject. Okay, they always say something vital to the subject. Okay, and therefore they are called subjective complements and not objective complements. Objective complements are only for transitive verbs. Okay, only for transitive verbs. This might look like an I, but it's not, it's transitive. So these are objective complements, and intransitive verbs use objective complements, and intransitive verbs they use subjective complements. Obviously they have to use subjective complements because objects are not there. Alright, so whatever has to be completed, whatever meaning has to be completed using group of words, okay, in association with the verb, in intransitive verbs, it has to be associated with the subject. It has to be related to the subject. They have to say something more about the subject. So that is why they use subjective complements and they use objective complements. Alright? Let me give an example for intransitive verbs. Okay, if I say, he looks puzzled. Alright. The word's puzzled over here. Okay. This help, the word puzzled over here, it helps the verb looks. This is the verb. Now puzzled is another, it can also mean as an adjective. Now puzzled over here, it helps to understand the verb clearly. Alright. So it can mean as an adjective. And here, I'll give you another example. The princess later became queen. Now look at the words over here. Became over here is a verb. Now the words puzzled and queen, they give some sort of meaning to the verbs looks and became. Okay. So they help in order to convey the complete meaning or complete sense, and therefore they are known as complements. But here puzzled is not an object. Here though queen is a noun, but it does not act as an object because the verb became is not being transferred to the object. Okay, so it is not getting affected. It's just a new word that has come over. It's a noun that is being just used. It is just stating something. It's not getting affected. So that is why they are always related to the subject, the princess. We are talking about the fact that something happened to the princess. Okay, and we are also saying that something has happened to him. He looks puzzled. Talking mode, we are saying something vital about the subject. And we are saying something vital about the princess over here. So therefore this is subject. These are known as subjective complements, or subject complements or subjective complements. Now in the same manner, in transitive verbs, I've already given you, for example, I'll give you another sentence. Her grandparents named her Natasha. My gift made her very happy. Now the words Natasha and happy, Natasha is a noun, proper noun, and happy is an adjective. They are required by the transitive verbs named and made in order to convey their complete sense. Okay. So therefore, but they are objects as well, because they are getting affected by the verb. They are getting affected by the action of the subject, okay, which is the verb. Therefore, they are known as objective complements. Now, what do we understand? An intransitive verbs, that verb that requires a complement, an intransitive verb that requires a complement to convey its full meaning in the sentence is known as an intransitive verb of incomplete predication. Okay, without this complement, the verb is incomplete. Without this complement, the verb is incomplete. Therefore, these kinds of verbs, if they occur in a sentence, if the sentence has verbs like these, or if the sentence conveys verbs like meanings through verbs like these, they are known as intransitive verbs of incomplete predication. Alright? Because without these, they are nothing. They don't give you the exact meaning. If we say he looks, what does he look? It's so incomplete, it doesn't make any sense. You have to write something. Over here also, in the same manner, if you say the princess later became, it's absolutely incomplete. Okay? So it needs another word or a noun or something else to convey its full meaning. So which need, the intransitive verbs which need a complement to fulfill or to convey its full meaning is known as intransitive verbs of incomplete predication. Now look at this sentence. You remember the first, in the previous class I had used a sentence as an example to intransitive verbs. It was I cried. Now this is a sentence in whole. It is giving you, it gives complete sense. So these kind of intransitive verbs that do not require any sort of complement, are known as intransitive verbs of complete predication. So this is complete and these verbs are incomplete. Okay, so you have to determine which intransitive verb needs a complement and which doesn't need a complement. Alright, how are you going to determine intransitive verbs? You will just have to see if that has an object. If it doesn't have an object and we don't ask the question what or whom or whatever, that is an intransitive verb. And if you feel that a few more words are needed in order to complete the meaning of the verb, alright, that will be your incomplete predication. That is how you determine intransitive verb of incomplete predication. Okay, and if you feel that it doesn't need any complement to complete its meaning, those are intransitive verbs of complete predication. Okay. If you don't understand, you might go back to the video, go back and forth again, and you will be able to understand it better. Now I shall explain to you transitive verbs, the entire thing, entire idea regarding transitive verbs now. Now let us follow one thing. Now I have given you this sentence out here, which is we colored the fence blue. Now this needs a complement. We colored the fence. If we say we colored the fence, it means it seems very incomplete. Okay. For example, let me give you another sentence. Okay, here is one sentence. Her grandparents named her Natasha. So over here, Natasha is a proper noun which is needed to complete the meaning of the verb named. Okay, so therefore it can be known, this verb out here, it is transitive. Okay, why is this transitive? Because the action of this verb is simply, it has to transfer to another object. Now for transitive verbs, understanding the complete and incomplete part is very easier, because you will definitely know if it needs an object or not. In intransitive verbs, no object is needed. But here, in transitive verbs, you know it is transitive. Okay, because it will need an object. And if it doesn't have an object, it will mean that it needs an object to complete its meaning. Therefore, this is known as an incomplete transitive verb of incomplete predication. Now, there are also other kinds of transitive verbs that does not need any complement, okay, to complete its meaning. For example, look at this sentence. We colored the fence. Blue over here is complement. This is an extra information given. If I would have said we colored the fence, that would have also made complete sense or perfect sense. We didn't need another complement to convey the full meaning. We just added to make it more specific. So blue over here is the complement. Therefore, this might need, we colored this verb out here. It might need another complement. It might not need another complement. Alright. So here this might be called as verbs of complete predication. Okay. Complete predication. This is complete and this over here is incomplete. Alright, so transitive verbs that requires an objective complement to convey its full meaning in the sentence. For example, this one. This is known as a transitive verb of incomplete predication. A transitive verb that does not require a complement and is complete with the help of the object only, which is over here. Here you have the object. It is complete. The meaning is complete over here. You don't need this. This is just added. This complement is just added for specific, to make it more specific. That kind of transitive verb, which is this, is known as verbs of complete predication. Okay. So this over here, we end the concept regarding verbs of incomplete or complete predication related to transitive and intransitive verb. Now I shall move on to the kinds of complements that are used for intransitive verbs. Alright, so now I shall show you how to determine the kinds of complements for intransitive verbs. Now we all know the complements for transitive verbs are just objects. Okay, objects or something specific, more specific about it. An object to give meaning to the incomplete verb, and something more specific which can be or cannot be added to the incomplete complete transitive verb. Sorry. So, but in case of intransitive verb that do not require object, what are the complements that can come along with intransitive verbs? Alright, let us know about them. Okay, so the first one, now an intransitive verbs can be followed by various kinds of words and phrases that work as complements. So if not objects, what are going to be the complements for intransitive verbs? It is going to be words, certain words and phrases. Okay, so I'll use the word certain over here, certain words and phrases, okay, which will act as complements for intransitive verbs. Okay, now coming to the kinds. So what kinds? The first one, a noun or a noun phrase. We all know what a noun phrase is. That answers the question. Group of words that act as a subject or object in the sentence. Alright, we remember, right? And that answers the question what. So a noun or a noun phrase. Okay, just like became queen. It's not getting affected. It's not like an object, but it's just a noun out there. Okay, so his name is Karan. So Karan over here is not the object, it's just stating. Okay, Suman is my niece. My niece. It's a noun phrase. My, because my is over there, my niece. So I'll just give you an example with that. His name is Karan. Okay, so Karan over here is the noun. Okay, or my niece over here is the noun phrase. Alright, so a noun or a noun phrase can come, but this is not the object because it is not a transitive verb. Alright, we all know that, right? Because it's just stating something. It's not that the action is getting transferred or vice versa, however. It's not happening that way. It's just stating a fact. So that is why this is an intransitive verb. And then it can also be followed by a pronoun. Let me just give you an example for that. The girl in the photo is not you. The girl in the photo. Of course it is I. Of course it is I. I is a pronoun, so it is following that. Okay. Then also you have a prepositional phrase. Of course, what is a prepositional phrase? A phrase that of course has a preposition. Okay. So that is a prepositional phrase. For example, to dinner. They are coming to dinner. I am looking at those paintings. I am looking is the intransitive verb out here. I am looking at those paintings. Okay. An adverb. It can be followed by an adverb too. Okay. You have come quite early, quite early. She has grown up so fast. Okay. Now this is another thing that will come after this that you have to understand. Adverbial particle. Now what is an adverbial particle? It is simply a preposition acting as an adverb. Okay, a preposition acting as an adverb. So that can function as adverbs. For example, theater closing down, closed down, went past. Okay, down over here, it's not suggesting any position. It's just something, it happened. Okay, adverb of, it is showing some sort of position. Okay, it closed down, went past. Alright, these are adverbs over here because they are modifying the verbs. Okay, so closed down, adverbial particles. Okay, preposition simply acting as an adverb. An adjective. Okay, it can be followed by an adjective. Just like for that sentence we had, we colored the fence blue. You look quite hopeful. The bank is closed. He is very kind. Okay, it can be followed by another adjective. It can also have a clause. A clause is very different from a phrase. For example, it has to have a subject in it as well. It seems that nobody is interested in my idea. Let me give an example. It seems that nobody is interested in my idea. Okay, so here nobody's interested in my idea. That is completely a clause. Seems over here is the intransitive verb. So we are not taking any sort of object or subject here. Though in a clause there has to be another subject, otherwise it's not a clause at all. Okay. About clauses you're going to learn about in detail in the later in the session. So these are the kinds of complements that can come after the intransitive verbs. Now children, I would like you all to have a look at all the ones over here, the noun or a noun phrase. we have the pronoun, a prepositional phrase, an adverb, an adverbial particle which is a preposition acting as an adverb, an adjective, a clause. Okay, that looks like this, which usually has that with it, starting from that. So that is completely a clause. Now, I would like you to check the video properly, and definitely if you have doubts you can ask me or put them forward in the Zoom classes. So I will definitely expect a certain or a few children to have questions regarding that. So please put forward them in your Zoom live classes. So we're going to meet there the next time. Thank you.